If you want bigger, stronger, and more defined shoulders, there's one exercise that stands above the rest. And no, it's not the overhead press or the upright row. I'm talking about the exercise that directly targets the side of your shoulders, the part that makes your shoulders look wider, rounder, and more impressive from the front and the side. See, your shoulder has three heads: the front, middle, and rear. But here's the problem. When you train chest, your front delts get worked. When you train back, your rear delts get activated. That leaves the lateral head, the one that creates width, undertrained. And if you don't specifically target it, you're missing out on the key to that capped shoulder look. Most people assume any shoulder workout will hit all three heads equally, but that's not the case. The side delts need isolated work, and today, I'm going to show you the single best exercise to grow them, along with the biggest mistakes that stop people from getting results. Before we get into it, let's talk about what not to do. One of the most common exercises people use to train the side delts is the upright row. Yes, it does hit the lateral head, but at a cost. This movement reduces subacromial space, which can pinch structures inside your shoulder joint. That's why many people experience shoulder pain from upright rows. Over time, this can lead to serious shoulder impingement issues. If it's not hurting you now, it will in the future. So if you're still doing upright rows, stop now. The risk outweighs the reward. So what's the best exercise to grow the side delts safely and effectively? It's the lateral raise, but not just any lateral raise. You need to do it right and use variations that maximize growth. Most people only do dumbbell lateral raises and think that's enough. But here's the problem. Dumbbells have mechanical disadvantages. Because gravity only pulls straight down, the resistance is highest at the top of the movement and non-existent at the bottom. That means the muscle isn't working through its full range effectively. That's why cable lateral raises are a game changer. Unlike dumbbells, cables provide tension throughout the entire range of motion. When using a cable, the force is coming from the side. So even at the start of the movement, your delts are under tension. That's a huge advantage for growth. So instead of relying on just dumbbell lateral raises, you need to combine both. Dumbbells provide the greatest tension at the top of the movement, while cables provide tension from the start. Together, they create full range activation for maximum hypertrophy. Now let's break down exactly how to perform each variation for optimal results. For dumbbell lateral raises, stand tall with your core engaged. Keep your torso stable. Don't use momentum. A common mistake is swinging the weight up using your back. If you're doing that, you're reducing the tension on your delts. Instead, control the movement. Lift to shoulder height and lower slowly. If you go higher than shoulder level, you risk impingement. Keep the movement clean and strict. Another mistake people make is dropping their arms all the way down to their thighs between reps. When you do that, the muscle loses tension, which reduces the effectiveness of the exercise. Instead, stop just before your arms reach your thighs to maintain constant tension. That time under tension is crucial for growth. When it comes to cable lateral raises, the setup is slightly different. Unlike dumbbells, the cable's resistance is constant, so you don't need to limit the range of motion as much. Start with the cable at the lowest setting, grab the handle with one hand, and step slightly away from the machine. Keep your arms straight with a slight bend in the elbow. Lift the cable to shoulder height, then lower it back slowly. Because the cable keeps the muscle engaged throughout the movement, you can go all the way down without losing tension. A big advantage of cables is that you can work one side at a time. This allows for better focus, greater mind-muscle connection, and improved muscle symmetry. If one shoulder is weaker than the other, this is a great way to fix imbalances. Now let's talk about training volume, because even if you're doing the exercise correctly, you won't grow if you're not doing enough sets. A lot of people only do 3 or 4 sets of lateral raises and call it a day. That's not enough. The lateral delts need at least 9 to 10 sets per week to maximize growth. If you're only doing a few sets, you're barely stimulating the muscle. Here's the best approach. Do 5 sets of dumbbell lateral raises and 5 sets of cable lateral raises each week. This ensures balanced development, keeping your delts under tension in both movement patterns. One last key tip. Avoid shrugging your shoulders when doing lateral raises. A lot of people lift their shoulders up when raising their arms. This shifts the work from the side delts to the traps. To prevent this, keep your shoulders down and focus on lifting with your arms, not your traps. Another mistake is bending the elbows too much. When you do that, you shorten the lever arm. making the exercise easier and reducing tension on the delts. Instead, keep a slight bend in the elbows. Not too much, not too little. This ensures optimal leverage while protecting your joints. So let's recap. Stop doing upright rows. They put unnecessary strain on your shoulders. Dumbbell lateral raises are great, but they have mechanical disadvantages. Cable lateral raises provide constant tension and are the perfect complement. Combine both exercises for full range activation. Train with enough volume, at least 10 sets per week. Keep your shoulders down and don't bend your elbows too much. If you follow this approach, you'll see faster growth, more definition, and broader shoulders in less time. Smart training beats mindless training every time. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe, because I've got more science-backed, results-driven workouts coming your way. Let's build those shoulders the right way. See you in the next video.